Good morning, girls. Today I'm going to explain to you the lesson Old Man at the Bridge. The author is the Nobel laureate Ernest Hemingway. This lesson has been written during the Spanish Civil War, and the old man is the protagonist or the central character of the story. The style of the lesson is in the form of a story. The main characters are the old man and the narrator, the author himself, who is a soldier and a war correspondent. The duty of the war correspondent is to inform the civilians about the approaching enemy. So one day, when the narrator walks on the pontoon bridge is a temporary bridge. So here it was on the Ebro River. So he is on his duty and he sees an old man sitting at the edge of the bridge. He asks the old man to get up and move and go and take a truck to Barcelona because the enemy was fast approaching. But the old man says he's too tired. He's a 76-year-old man wearing rimmed glasses. He's tired because he has walked a long distance of 12 kilometers. And the old man says he is not worried about himself, but the animals that he left home at San Carlos, his village. He had 4 pairs of doves, 2 goats, and a cat. He was not bothered about the cat because he thought probably the cat knows how to live on its own. But he was worried about the 2 goats. So here in this lesson, a lot of symbols and metaphors have been used. The cat is a symbol of a person who is confident, who can lead very boldly his life, and the doves or the pigeons are a symbol of peace, as well as civilians who flee for their lives or who fly away for their lives. And the goats are compared to the sacrificial animal, and here the old man is also a metaphor because he might be killed during the war. So a lot of metaphors and symbols have been used. So the correspondent asks the old man to leave the place, but he says that he will not leave as he is worried about the animals and he does not have his family. Then the soldier asks him whether he has left the cages open. The old man replies that yes, he has left the cages open. The story occurs on the Easter Sunday. Easter is a day of resurrection. But here, unfortunately, this is the day where the people are not sure about their lives. The character of the narrator, the soldier, who was a war correspondent, is selfless, shown as a selfless character because in spite of the war, his war situation, he's putting his life into danger and trying to protect the lives of civilians. The character of the old man is also depicted as very kind, loving, because he's not bothered about his own life, but he's bothered about his animals. He says he didn't want to leave the place, but it was because of the artillery. Artillery means here the guns or the firing going on, and he was forced by a captain to leave the place. So bridge here is also a very important symbol. Bridge is a symbol of uncertainty if the old man stays back at the bridge, it is uncertainty and danger. But if he moves forward and he crosses the bridge, he moves to safety and there is hope. As I said earlier, the incident takes place on Easter Sunday, the day of resurrection of Jesus Christ. It signifies rebirth. But it's ironical in the story. This day stands for inevitable death. But at the same time, it is for us to conclude it could be a day of hope, as the old man had faith in God. I feel, girls, this lesson I want to correlate with the present situation, its relevance to the present situation. I feel the COVID-19 is just a war-like situation where all of us or all the people around the world are fighting with the virus. And the bridge can be compared to the social distancing and all the safety measures. If we follow, we remain safe, and if we break, we may be a victim. Now, girls, I think I have already uploaded the PDF explaining the important points of the lesson and also the video. And now I would read the lesson explaining the difficult terms that you come across. So, The Old Man at the Bridge by Ernest Hemingway. An old man with steel-rimmed glasses or spectacles and a very dusty clothes sat by the side of the road. There was a pontoon bridge. Pontoon bridge, I said, as I explained earlier, it's a temporary floating bridge across the river, and the carts, trucks and men, women and children were crossing it because all the civilians, they were asked to leave the place. The mule-drawn carts staggered up the steep bank from the bridge. Staggered here is moved from the bridge with soldiers helping push against the spokes of the wheels. So these soldiers are really selfless, who put their lives in danger to protect the people's lives. The trucks ground up and away heading out of it, and the peasants plodded along. Plodded along is they walked along in the ankle-deep dust, but the old man sat there without moving. He was too tired to go any further. It was my business to cross the bridge, explore the bridgehead beyond, and find out to what point the enemy had advanced. So the narrator says that it was his duty as a war correspondent to find out and inform the people to what point the enemy had advanced or moved further. I did this and returned over the bridge. There were not so many carts now and a very few people on foot, but the old man was still there. "Where do you come from?" I asked him. "From San Carlos," he said and smiled. That was his native town, and so it gave him pleasure to mention it, and he smiled. "I was taking care of animals," he explained. "Oh," I said, not quite understanding. "Yes," he said, "I stayed, you see, taking care of animals. I was the last one to leave the town of San Carlos." He did not look like a shepherd or a herdsman, and I looked at his black dusty clothes and his grey dusty face and his steel-rimmed glasses and said, "What animals were there?" So the soldier asked the old man, what were the animals that were his pets. "Various animals," he said, and shook his head. "I had to leave them. I was watching the bridge and the African-looking country of the Ebro Delta and wondering how long now it would be before we would see the enemy, and listening all the while for the first noises that would signal that ever mysterious event called contact." And the old man still sat there. "What animals were there?" I asked. "There were 3 animals altogether," he explained. "There were 2 goats and a cat, and then there were 4 pairs of pigeons." "And you had to leave them?" I asked. "Yes, because of the artillery." As I said earlier, girls, artillery means the heavy gunfire. The captain told me to go because of the artillery. So he was asked by the captain to leave the place because of the heavy ammunition or the guns that were being fired. And you have no family? I asked, watching the far end of the bridge where a few last carts were hurrying down the slope of the bank. No, he said, only the animals, I stated. The cat, of course, will be all right. A cat can look out for itself, but I cannot think what will become of the others. What politics do you have? I asked. I am without politics, he said. I am 76 years old. I have come 12 kilometers now, and I think now I can go no further. This is not a good place to stop, I said. If you can make it, there are trucks up the road where it forks for Tortosa. So the soldier advised the old man to leave the place. The old man said that he was without politics. That means he did not belong to any political group. He was a mere civilian and he had nothing to do with the politics or the war that was going on. The soldier asked him to walk up to the road where it led to Tortosa, a safer place. I will wait a while, he said, and then I'll go. Where do the trucks go? Towards Barcelona, I told him. I know no one in that direction, he said. But thank you very much. Thank you again very much. When the old man was asked to go to take a truck to Barcelona, he said that he did not know anyone at Barcelona because he was a man without a family. His family included nothing but his animals. He looked at me very blankly and tiredly, then said, having to share his worry with someone, the cat will be all right, I am sure. There is no need to be unquiet about the cat, but the others. Now, what do you think about the others? Why? They'll probably come through it all right. You think so? So the soldier was very kind enough to explain to the old man that not to worry about his animals, but they all would find their own way to safety. Why not? I said, watching the far bank where now there were no carts. So now the soldiers saw that almost the entire village, all the carts carrying the people had moved and crossed the bridge. But what will they do under the artillery when I was told to leave because of the artillery? Did you leave the dove cage unlocked? I asked. But the old man was not bothered about the conversation with the soldier, but only the thought of his animals was lingering in his mind. Yes, then they'll fly. Yes, certainly they'll fly. But the others, it's better not to think about the others, he said. If you are rested, I will go, I urged. So the soldier said that he had his duty to perform. So he requested the old man, get up and try to walk now. Urged is requested. Thank you, he said, and got to his feet, swayed from side to side, and then sat down backwards in the dust. So the old man was so tired. Though he got up, he was unable to walk any further. He just swayed, moved from side to side, and again he sat down. I was taking care of animals, he said dully. He was very sad, lifeless, but no longer to me. I was only taking care of animals. So this shows that the old man had given up. He did not have any other meaning to his life. Only he thought his responsibility was to take care of his animals, and he was sad that he had left his animals. So he was not bothered about his own life. And he had no family to look after except the animals. There was nothing to do about him. It was Easter Sunday and the fascists were advancing towards the Ebro. I think girls, you must have learned the world wars or heard about the rise of dictators, the rise of dictatorship under Mussolini, who was the leader of the fascists. And Hitler, these two dictators. Hitler was the leader of the Nazis. So during the Spanish Civil War, the fascists were fast approaching towards the Ebro. It was a grey overcast day with a low ceiling. So the color grey signifies the situation, the warlike situation where there is fear, death everywhere around. So their planes were not up. That and the fact that cats know how to look after themselves was all the good luck that old man would ever have. So the soldier tries his best to convince the old man not to think about the animals and to move further. But the old man is so weak and tired, and moreover, probably we can say that he had hope that even if he stayed back, he would survive. That's all, girls. And I think now the lesson is quite clear. Kindly watch the other video which I have sent and try to complete the question answers given in your workbook. Thank you, girls. Bye.